สวัสดีครับอาจารย์ครับครับ
Greetings to everybody. Welcome to another meeting where we will discuss the Buddhist practices of charity, morality, and meditation. Everyone is welcome to join. If you want to ask questions, you have to come into the Zoom meeting, come into the Zoom in the room with the Zoom application. But if you just want to watch live, you can watch through Facebook or YouTube. I shall start with Kun Nandapat from Ubon, Thailand.
นมัสการค่ะท่านอาจารย์ I don't have any question ค่ะ Happy to listening in ค่ะ
Okay, Yobi from New York. Where is your friend? She's not here yet tonight.
Yeah, good evening, Ajaan.
Yes, good morning to you.
Good morning. My friend's furniture change went to Bangkok with her daughter.
I see. Yeah, she told us last week. I forgot about that.
Yes, after she is 14, she will arrive in Malaysia.
Okay. Do you have any question tonight?
So far, as no question, only one thing. How come we still have the when something spoke with you, the bad thing, you feel upset? Why we have to like that?
Your defilement, you still have defilement. Your defilement still have like and dislike. So when you run into something you dislike, then you have feeling of disgust, feeling of unpleasant feelings arise. But if you practice and if you can remove all your defilements, then your mind will remain just calm and doesn't have any like or dislike.
That's only thing when you get defilement come up, we just said Putto is goodbye.
You can do that, it will take care of your problem temporarily, not permanently. If you want to take care of it permanently, you have to say it's anatta. Everything is anatta. Everything is work of nature. You like it or not, doesn't matter. This is the way nature gives to you. Take it or leave it.
Okay, thank you, Prajat. Thank you.
Okay. Mechi Mamio from Thailand.
Good evening, Ajaan. I have no question today.
Okay. Professor Ken from Switzerland.
Good afternoon, Ajaan.
Yes, good afternoon to you.
I'd like to ask something regarding keeping the precepts.
Yes.
Just to check something, because I found over time, over a long period of time of practice, that keeping the precepts seems to become much more solid, much more natural. And also, there's also a sense of almost caution or even fear about not breaking the precepts. So I was noticing this over quite a long period of time. Is this a positive sign in terms of the practice?
Yes, it starts to become a habit. See? The more you practice, it will sink into in your consciousness, and then it will start to take over your thoughts, your action. As soon as you start to do something against the precept, then you'll feel not good. You don't feel not good, and see, because you can see the benefit of keeping the precept also. It keeps your mind calm and peaceful. So yes, anything when you do it, it will become a habit. Even bad habits. Once you do it, it becomes a bad habit. The bad habit can be overpowering something. But sometimes you know it's bad, it's not good, but you cannot stop it. Like people, not keeping the precept, and they know it's not good to lie, but somehow they just cannot stop lying. So whatever you do, it becomes a habit, and this is what we call good karma or bad karma.
Okay. Is it also connected to like a strengthening of panya, wisdom?
Probably yes, but just on the level of precepts, on the level of the morality level, but not on the higher level of vipassana, such as the three characteristics of existence. So you have to develop this and let it sink into your mind. Everything you think of something, think of anicca right away. Everything you think of something, think of anatta. Then it will become automatic eventually. Just like the precept that you keep keeping. It will become automatic for you. Everything is, that's what the word perfect, or practice is made perfect. That's the more practice, then the more you'll be able to do the things until it becomes automatic.
Okay.
That's why we have to keep on practicing the three levels: charity, morality, and wisdom.
Okay.
Meditation also.
Okay.
But we'll move upward. Once we have built the precept, we have built charity within our consciousness, our habit, and we move up to the meditation level. Keep on meditating until it becomes a habit. Instead of looking for something for pleasure, you say, you rather meditate.
Yes.
Then after you have developed this level of meditation, then you can go on the next level of vipassana to prevent the defilements from pulling you away from meditation practices.
Okay.
Because your meditation, mindfulness meditation, cannot get rid of the defilements. The defilement can still come and lure you, pull you away, pull you toward sensual pleasure. So when you want to stop this permanently, stop the defilement, you have to tell the mind that what the defilement wants is bad for the mind because it's anicca, it's anatta. You just keep doing this until it becomes automatic. Then your defilement cannot have any influence over your mind anymore after that.
Yeah. I think the thing that struck a chord with me when you were speaking is the idea when you keep doing it, it becomes habitual, it becomes habit.
Yes.
All of the aspects of the practice become
Automatic. Yeah.
Normal, yeah.
It's like if you keep using your right hand, you become right-handed, right? If you switch, if your right hand got broken, you cannot use your right hand, then you have to learn to use your left hand. You have to use it for a while, and you become left-handed.
Yeah.
So everything, if you haven't done it yet, you have to learn. You have to force yourself to do it. because you don't like to do something different, something new. But if you have good reason for doing it, then you will have the motivation. So people need motivation, and the only good motivation is the truth. Is that if you keep the habit, keep the precept, it's good for your mind. If you do charity, it's good for your mind. If you meditate, it's good for your mind. If you develop wisdom, it's good for your mind. This is all for the mind, really, not for the body.
Yeah.
Not for wealth either. You know, all these practices doesn't point you to work to be more rich, to be richer, to be more powerful. But it teaches your mind to be more peaceful and calm and happy and contented.
Yes.
If you look for contentment, this is the way, this is the path to contentment. Give to charity, keep the precept, practice meditation, and develop wisdom.
Yeah.
Is this good enough?
That's very helpful. Thank you, Ajaan. Thank you very much.
Okay. I'll go to Lillian. You're back in Bangkok already, Lillian? Back home? She came to give food a couple of days, 2 days in a row in the morning.
Yes, we just came back in the evening. Nice to meet you, Ajaan.
Yes. To see you personally, huh? For
Yes.
the first time or
Yes.
second time?
Second time.
Second time. But briefly, you don't have a chance to come to talk. I have to keep on walking.
Yes, correct. I have a question about the precepts just now. One of the precepts that you mentioned is not to tell lie. But let's say when we get angry and we say something really bad speech, is that also considered breaking the precepts?
As far as the 5 and the 8 precepts for lay people is concerned, you're not breaking them.
Okay.
These other things like speaking rudely, and these are more for the ordained higher level of precepts.
Oh,
It's not mentioned. It's not mentioned in the 5 or the 8 precept.
okay.
It's only speaking falsehood is considered breaking the precepts in the 5 and the 8. But if you want to be more, you have to be more strict with yourself, with your speeches, then yes, you must not speak foul language. You not speak chatter, have idle chatter. You should not speak in a way that will hurt or cause division among people.
Okay.
Or create hatred among people. You want to speak in a way that makes people love each other, not hate each other.
Correct.
So these are the extra 3 or 4 speeches that for someone higher in the precept level will keep. But there's nothing to prevent you from keeping it if you want to.
Of course.
But it's not required in the 8 or the 5 precepts.
Yeah, because I just feel that I think I keep the 5 precepts quite well, but sometimes when you're angry, right, you just speak whatever and you know that it's not good, but it's more of you cannot apply when you meditate, right, you cannot really apply what you have learned in meditation into real life. So it's pretty hard in that sense.
It's hard for lay people. That's why the Buddha prescribed this for lay people. Because your situation, you always run into a lot of people and things. And
yes.
So, and your mindfulness is not as strong either. You will not likely be able to keep the other good speeches.
Yes.
But for monks, for those who are there, they're in a different environment. They're more in secluded area and they have more mindfulness. So they should be able to keep the other precepts.
Okay.
So don't worry if you're still a lay person.
Okay.
But if you want to develop to this higher level, no one is to stop you. You can do it. You can. It's good for you.
Yep. I just feel that it's very bad that I cannot control my speech when I'm angry. Very, very bad.
It just reminds you how much mindfulness you have,
Yes, correct.
or the lack of it. So maybe then you need to develop more mindfulness in
Yes.
order to be able to control your speech when you're angry.
Yep.
Well, you have to control your anger, because once you're angry, you cannot
Control.
Yeah, you have to control your anger. If there's no anger, when you're peaceful and calm, then you can speak nice language, good language.
Yep. Okay. Thank you, Thanachan.
Okay. Belinda from Singapore.
Ajaan, good to see you. Hey. No questions for now.
Okay.
Mm.
B. Ravin from Bangkok.
Hi, good evening, Ajaan. I have a question. It's actually quite similar to Lilian's regarding the precepts. Ajaan, you mentioned about the precept supports samadhi and samadhi supports wisdom. So what supports the precepts? Is it just our morality and the Noble
Yes.
Eightfold Path?
And your practice of loving kindness. If you practice loving kindness, then you want to be friendly, you want to be kind with people, to other beings. You don't want to hurt them if you practice loving kindness. So this is a prerequisite for all actions. First, you have to have loving kindness in order to be able to practice charity, keep the precepts. And once you can keep the precept, then you can have time to meditate. Because you won't get into trouble with other people or things. If you still like to hurt people, you might get into trouble with other people. And you instead of spending your time meditating, you try and spend your time arguing or battling, fighting with other people. But if you have loving kindness, you just say, okay, let's forget about it. Let's have no conflict. Let's live and then live. You go your way, I go my way. That sort of thing. Because people with friendliness doesn't want to have any enemies. So any action that will start to create enemies, the person will stop, will not do. And people with loving kindness will tend to be compassionate toward other people also. If they see somebody needs help, they would, help. Sometimes even at the cost of their own lives, which sometimes we hear from time to time. Story of heroes. That's because they have compassion for other people. So yes, that's why in Buddhism, the first thing that we are taught to practice is loving kindness, metta. Metta, karuna, mudita, ubekha. But usually metta and karuna. And mudita, when you see somebody happy, you should be happy with them. Not be envious of them. This is one of the 10 perfections, and the first one to develop among the 10 perfections is metta. Then you can move up to the next, to dana. With metta will support dana. Dana will then support morality or sila. Then sila will support the practice of renunciation, which is keeping the 8 precepts. Nekkhamma, in Pali called nekkhamma. And then when you have nekkhamma, then it will support your practice of equanimity for ubekha, the practice of meditation for the result of ubekha. And once you have ubekha, then you can then develop wisdom. So these are the steps that we do in the 10 perfection. The 10 perfection. The other 4 are the supporting perfection, like Atithan means resolution or determination. You have to have determination to develop this perfection, like loving kindness, metta, dana, sila, so forth. With determination, you also have to have honesty or earnestness, which is satya, truthful. Yeah, you have to, once you set up a resolution, you want to stick to it, not lying to yourself. Oh, I'm going to keep the precept. But when your friends call you up and ask you to go for a drink, and say, okay, then this means you don't have truthfulness with yourself. So you have to have satya, truthfulness to your resolution. And then you all have to have virya, which is exertion or diligence to keep on developing this perfection. And if you run into difficulties, you need to have patience or endurance to keep on doing it, not giving up. Khanti.
So Khanti and Virya are similar.
But virya is the one, the exertion.
Exertion.
Not lazy, not being lazy. But when you exert, sometimes you can get into obstacles, right? Then you might want to give up, and you need Khanti to support your exertion. Without Khanti, when you run into difficulty, you say, oh, I want to give up. It's too hot, it's too cold, too painful, sleepy, then you just give up. If you don't have Khanti, or I'm not sure which is the right translation, perseverance, endurance, or patience. These words, I think they kind of cover the meaning of Khanti. Maybe I can ask Professor, what is your translation of the word Khanti? Professor?
I'm not sure, Tanajan. I think it's one of the ones you mentioned. I'm not a scholar of Pali.
Yes, but you don't need to be a scholar, just from how you feel, from what we say. Am I right to say either patience or endurance or perseverance? Any of these words cover?
I have to Google it.
Give it a thought. Okay.
I think they're all similar, yeah. It means the same thing.
But if it's not right, I could be corrected, see, because I'm not good in English. So perseverance.
Perseverance.
To keep on doing what you're supposed to do.
Keep on doing.
Yeah. Perseverance. I think this is the right word.
Yeah, perseverance.
Perseverance.
Okay. So you need this for supporting perfection, to be able to develop the other 6 perfection. Like the Buddha, when he sat under the Bodhi tree, he said, I'm going to sit here until I die, if I don't become enlightened. So that's what we call Satya Atithan, truth and determination. Truthful determination, honest determination, or resolution. And then he keep on sitting there and meditate. This is virya or diligent. And when the body becomes painful, he keeps continue on, not giving up. This is perseverance or Khanti. Then he became enlightened eventually. So if you have these 4 qualities, you can do anything whether in this spiritual world or in the physical world, you will succeed. People who succeed in the physical world usually have these 4 qualities, right?
Yes.
Like you get your degree because you stick with your resolution, right? You don't give up, and you keep studying until eventually you graduate.
Yes.
Okay.
Keep working hard, effort. So Tanajan, I mean, what you just mentioned is actually sounds like the Noble Eightfold Path.
Well, they're all the same. They're all about the path. but spoken in a different point of view, different. So the Buddha, when he teaches, sometimes he switches a little bit to maybe enlarge the show them more of the path in a different light. Let's put it that way. But it's all path. Everything the Buddha says is path. The five spiritual powers, sattha, viriya, sati, samadhi, panya. This also, you can call them the path, the noble eightfold path, but spoken in a different light, different point of view.
So all converges into the same thing. We just have to see its
Slowly,
element.
Yes, it will lead you to the removal of all defilements and the consequences, which are the dukkha. If you practice this Dhamma.
It's a good guidance to have, I mean, we all need these elements to succeed. You can't have one without the other.
I think the Buddha says something like, my teaching are so many, but they all have the same taste, like the ocean. No matter how big the ocean is, it has only one taste, and that's the taste of the saltiness. My teaching also only have one taste, and that's the taste of deliverance from dukkha. So everything the Buddha says is to deliver the mind from dukkha. Okay.
Yes, Ajaan. Thank you for your explanation today.
All right. Next, Kek Yen So from Penang.
Ajaan, good evening. Just general questions. When somebody become a monk or a nun, how many times is allowed to disrobe?
How many times?
Disrobe.
In Thailand, so you should ordain more than 3 times.
Oh, I see.
Not even 3 times. If you happen to be ordained in this room for 3 times, you are considered unreliable. Someone who doesn't have any backbone, someone who cannot stand on their own. They're not reliable because they keep switching their mind, changing their mind.
I see. I heard a monk is allowed 4 times and a nun is allowed only 1 time.
There's no limit of allowance, but normally, if you ordain more than 1 time, it's a sign of weakness. It's a sign of vacillation.
True. Okay.
So but there are always exceptions. Maybe somebody might be able to become enlightened after ordaining for 6 or 7 times. Who knows? But most likely not. Well, usually it means you're just not strong enough. When you run into difficulties, you give up. Disrobing is giving up your undertaking, your task. So every time you run into difficulties or your defilements too strong, pushing you to go back to the sensual pleasures, then you disrobe.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks, Ajaan, for the info.
Okay, you're welcome. Next, Diana from Wales, England. No, Wales, UK. I'm sorry.
Oh, well now.
Okay, anything? Any question?
I just wondered, people have been asking about anger. If we feel anger but we don't express it to the person, is it still harmful to them? I know it's harmful to us, but is it like bad energy or?
No, it won't hurt other people if you don't say anything or do anything. It's only when you say something or do something that you can hurt them that way. So Try to
Okay.
restrain your action when you become angry. Try to walk away from the person if you can, and calm your mind first before you come back and encounter them. Bring your mind back to normal. It's a general rule that when you're angry, don't do anything. Wait until your anger subsides before you do or say something. Because when you say or do something when you're angry, you don't say or do a good thing. But it's best not to have anger at all, right? And the way to not have anger is you must not have expectation. See, the cause of anger usually comes from you are having expectation and not be able to get what you expect. So try to take things as they come. Anything, just don't expect it to rain or shine. And when it doesn't rain or shine, then you won't get angry. But when you expect something and you don't get it, then you can get angry.
Yes, thank you, Tanajan.
Okay. Next, Philip of Malaysia.
Good evening, Ajaan. I have a question with regards to meditation. Maybe could be quite similar to what B. Robin has asked. During meditation, right? What happens when all of a sudden you have the an attack of many defilements at one time? How do you tackle it? I mean, I know that you have actually always said that go back to the mantra, but sometimes if it's too powerful, how do you tackle these defilements at one time, all coming together? It doesn't happen often. Yeah.
What can you do if you cannot go back to your mantra? Then it's like you have no place to hide. When the mantra, at least you can hide from your defilements. If you don't, then you'll be overwhelmed by your defilement. That's all.
Okay.
If you want to watch television, in the middle of meditating, then you might just have to give up meditating and go watch the program you wanted to watch.
Is there any way to tackle it?
Use the mantra. When you use the mantra of chanting, do something. Keep your mind busy. When your mind busy, then the defilement cannot use the mind to think for the defilements.
Okay.
You're not chanting. You're not keeping busy with the mantra. So the defilement can use the thought to pull you away from your meditation. That's why you need mindfulness to succeed in meditation.
Okay.
So mindfulness is very important, not something you should take lightly. You should do it from the time you get up to the time you go to sleep, which you can do, even if you are a lay person. You can use mantra or concentrate and focus on what you do with your body until you have to engage with other people. Then that might not be able to do. You might not be able to do that, but then it's better to do some of it anyway when you can. Like in the morning when you get up and prepare yourself for work, you probably don't have to engage with anybody. That's the time to practice mindfulness, as well as preparing yourself for work.
Okay.
So you have to do this first, so that you get into the habit of reciting the mantra. That's what I'm trying to say, really. So when you meditate, you can keep reciting mantra. Or if you should stop or forget, when you're attacked by your defilement, then you can recite the mantra right there and then to stop your defilement. But if you're not in the habit of reciting, you won't be able to recite. That's a problem.
Okay. The question I wanted to ask is that when it appears, I mean, does the recitation of the mantra goes faster or longer.
Doesn't matter. As long as you keep reciting, sooner or later, your defilement cannot use your thoughts
Okay.
to direct your mind to go somewhere else. See, it's the thought that the defilement and the Dhamma is fighting over, really. If the Dhamma can take control of the thought, then the defilement cannot use the thought. If the Dhamma doesn't take control over the thought, then the defilement will take over the thought. That's why you want to use mantra, which is Dhamma, to take control of your thoughts. Because if you keep reciting Bhutto, Bhutto, you cannot think about watching television or having ice cream or eating a piece of cake, right? It's only when you stop then you can start thinking about piece of cake or ice cream, whatever.
It was actually more like irritation, ill will, or
yeah, whatever. It's all the same. I'm just giving you just an example.
Right. Okay.
Okay. So practice mindfulness. Practice reciting Bhutto, Bhutto, Bhutto. So when in times of need, you can use it right away. It's like reciting the multiplication table. Before the days of the calculators, we used to have to use to memorize the multiplication table. I'm not sure whether they do it now or not in school. I don't think so. Now they have calculators, they have iPad, they have the phone. You can just punch in the number and you get the answer.
Okay.
All right.
Yes.
So you have to learn how to recite mantra. Once you learn and becomes automatic or habitual, then it's easy when you need to use it. Okay.
Thank you, Ajaan.
Good. Sri and Czech from Vancouver, Canada.
Ajaan. Very beautiful. The one you talk about the Buddha said that his teaching is many, but one taste like the ocean. It's huge, the vast ocean with only salty taste, which is the deliverance of dukkha. I never heard that one before. But yeah,
You're here now.
yeah, I thought it's beautiful. I wanted to ask you. You mentioned with B. Rabin just now that the four qualities, the Adithan, Satcha, Viriya, and Kanti. It's a four qualities for success in both the physical and spiritual world.
Yes.
Like if you have these qualities in the physical world already and you're successful in a physical sense, can this quality be transferred to when you practice?
Yes, you use the same quality.
Oh, same.
But it's like learning a new language. You speak French and you want to speak Chinese, then you have to start learning Chinese. But you use the same determination and that diligence to learn the new language.
So you still have that quality. You can try.
You use the same quality. Yes, it's the same quality.
Oh.
That's why the Buddha, when he was born, he was predicted if he remains in the world, he'll become emperor.
Yeah.
But if he becomes if he takes the spiritual path, he will become the spiritual teacher. By the look of the aura of the baby, the fortune teller could tell by the physical appearance of the baby.
Wow. He already had that quality. They can already.
Yeah, it shined forth from within his mind.
Wow.
That's why I don't doubt the story that as soon as he was born, he can walk for 7 steps. It's because he have these 4 qualities.
Wow.
He can the mind controls the body, not the body controls the mind.
Oh.
But for other babies like us, we're probably still sleeping when we were born. But for the Buddha, he was, as soon as he came out of the womb, he was already awoke, and ready to walk, and he could start walking. So I don't doubt this story at all.
So he was already extraordinary. He was already
Like you hear a lot of story about genius, right? Child prodigy. This is the same thing. They probably have these 4 qualities. The child prodigy. They can graduate in college in 7 years. At the age of 7 or 8, they can graduate from college already. Because they have this ability to learn.
But it's good to have the quality, but not necessary. I guess it's not like I guess what I'm trying to say is like I read on the sutta that there are wide variety of personality that can get enlightened. I think there are like really smart like people, but there are also people who are I read in the sutta that there's maybe among that he's being like maybe looked down upon because he's not like intellectually that advanced, but he can still get enlightened by I think wiping the
using a cloth.
A cloth to wipe, and then he got enlightened.
Because the enlightenment doesn't require the worldly knowledge at all. You don't have to know anything about science or mathematics or anything like that.
Yeah.
Some of the Ajaan, they didn't even go to school. They couldn't even read when they ordained. They just have to learn by listening how to chant for the ordination. They could not read the book. But this is not the knowledge that will help you become enlightened.
Yeah.
What makes you become enlightened is understanding the nature of your mind. What makes you have dukkha and what makes you have happiness. So this is a different type of knowledge. It's more like psychology or psychiatry.
I think psychology and psychiatry is, to my just my humble opinion, that's so very small compared to Buddhism.
Well, that's because they study only, they don't apply what they study and prove it for themselves first. They usually study and maybe study on other people, but not on themselves.
That's
You get a patient and you study the patient and give him certain type of treatment, and then you say, oh, this is what it is. But you have to study and then apply it to yourself to really be able to see the.
Yeah, that's true. Ajaan, the other day on the Q&A, somebody asked you about Chatasika. I don't know that term. I'm wondering, like you talk about the mind and the function of the mind. Is Chatasika same as the function of the mind, Ajaan?
Everything that contains in the mind are considered Chatasika.
Everything that contains in the mind.
That appears in the mind are called Chatasika. Emotions, thoughts, feelings, and anything like it's all Chatasika.
Oh,
Like everything in your room is called Chatasika. You yourself, the painting on the wall and everything, the furniture, these are all Chatasika.
oh.
The mind is like an empty room. The mind is like an empty room, and Chatasika are the content of the mind, inside the mind.
Content. Oh.
And it could be good or bad content, kusala or kusala.
Oh. Okay.
So, Ajaan, loving kindness is also in the mind. Hatred is also in the mind. Yeah. So all these are in the mind, right?
In the mind, but sometimes it's not everybody's mind. You know? If you don't develop them, then they'll come up. You have to develop them, like metta, loving kindness, and keeping the precepts, meditating. These are something you have to develop, not something that will come up automatically.
Yeah.
Like I'll give you an example. The mind is like a plot of land. You can do anything with a plot of land, right? You can build hotels, shopping malls, gas stations, bars and restaurants, anything. But you have to build it up. But right now your mind is like an empty plot. Or you have lots of garbages and and undesirable stuff on your plot. You have to get rid of. These are the defilements that you have in your mind. Defilements are also Chatasika.
Oh, defilement is.
So your job is to get rid of the bad stuff on your plot of land, so that you can then build a shopping mall or condominiums or anything like that. But right now you just have a place where people dump their garbage.
Oh, okay.
Your defilements are your garbage, you know.
Garbage.
Your love, your hate, your delusion.
So you have to remove the garbage.
Then you can build up the nibbana, the condominium, beautiful condominium, without the luxury items.
And Ajaan, since we were talking about anger, so I wonder these 4 qualities can also be used to kind of like eliminate anger, like
yes, you need this 4 quality determination that from now on I don't want to get angry, so I have to go to the root of the anger, which is my expectation of things. So from now on I will learn to take things as they come and not expect things, not demanding on anything from anybody. I just do what I can, and then whatever I get, I'll be happy with. Then you probably won't get angry that way. But you rely on somebody or something to give you something, and they don't deliver, then you get angry.
Yeah.
If you ask your wife to do something for you and then she forgot, you can get angry at her. Right? Yes. How could you forget? This is something very important. But before you ask her, you tell yourself, well, I'm not going to expect any result from her, but I'll tell her to do it for me anyway. Then whether she do it or not, you won't get angry.
Okay, but Ajaan, if I can't do up to this level, like can I determine like just to recite Buddho until like, you know?
I don't know. I cannot compare. I don't know how to measure this thing. You have to measure yourself.
Yeah, what I mean is like break down the step. Like if we use these 4 qualities to
try it and then prove it to yourself. No, you don't need to prove it to me. It's you who wants to know, right? And you have to prove it. I cannot prove it for you. The taste of the cake is in the eating of the cake. You want to know how good the cake is, you have to eat it. You want to know if this quality works for you, then you have to apply it. Talking about it doesn't give you any, any answers really. You have to do the work.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that all for now?
Yeah.
Okay.
For now, yeah. Thank you,
Okay.
Ajahn.
Next, Kok Seng from Singapore.
Yeah, good evening, Ajahn. I'd just like to inform you, today I just came back from an 8 precepts observations at a Buddhist center conducted by a Chinese Mahayana monk. Yeah. So usually before the pandemic, I always make a practice to attend a 1-day 8 precept retreat at the center. So this is the first time they have opened up after the pandemic.
Good.
Yeah. Okay.
Does it help you in your practice?
Okay. Usually there's no meditation. Is mostly chanting of the Chinese sutra in Mandarin. So one of the thing that always motivate me to go is the feeling that each time I go for the 8 precept ceremony, I'm able to gain merits, and the second thing was I'm able to so-called have 2 meals a day, and then I'm able to and that feeling of able to just take 2 meals a day. So I feel happy that I'm able to achieve that. Yeah.
That's good, because when you're at home, you're not able to do it because the member of your family, they still eat 3 meals a day.
Yes.
So you'll be like a black sheep and you eat 2 meals a day, right? So you have to go join the same crowd, the same sheep. If you're black sheep, then you have to join the black sheep. You cannot live with the white sheep.
Yeah, sometimes yes, I have to join, so that is like part family. Actually, I have one question. Usually after lunch, after I wash the dishes and so on, then I will boil some water to make myself a cup of tea. But lately I was thinking, because I recall you were saying that drinking the cup of tea or eating the chocolate or the ice cream is like our defilement telling us, go and eat the chocolate. Then when I tell myself, it's okay, just drink a cup of tea just to perk myself up, it's all right. Then on the other hand, the other side of my mind telling me, it's the defilement, is just drink a plain cup of water is good enough. Don't need to boil a cup of tea and drink. So there was this dilemma. Is this defilement or so I'm a bit.
Yes, if you're thirsty, then you need to just drink pure water. That's all you need. The body needs the water, but not the taste. The taste of the drinks is your defilement, the sensual desire.
Okay. So even the thought that after washing the dishes, just drink something to perk myself up.
Yeah, the sensual pleasure. Really.
Sensual pleasure. Okay, understand. Yeah, that's all for today. Thank you, Ajahn.
Okay. Next, Machi Willie from Indonesia.
Good evening, Tanajan. Today I don't have any questions. Thank
You
you.
live at home alone, or you?
Sorry?
You live at home alone or with somebody?
I live in the monastery.
Oh, in the monastery.
Yes, Tanajan.
How many Machi in the monastery?
There's only me.
Only you.
Yes.
And you have a separate quarter by yourself.
Yeah, there is a building like a dormitory for me to stay.
And nobody else in the dormitory, or other people also in the dormitory.
There are other people also because the dormitory is also open for lay people to come and stay in the monastery.
I see. But you have your own room. Each
Yes, I
one
have
have
my
their own
own.
room.
Yes.
Okay. So how do you find becoming a Mechi? Does it help you in your practice?
Yes. Firstly, I don't have to think about a place to practice. Like previously, I have to think like how long can I stay in this place? I cannot stay for a long time. So at least I can settle down here, and then I can focus on my self practice.
Is
So I
this
think
monastery near your home, in the same hometown, in your hometown?
no, it's a different city. So it's about 3 hours from my hometown.
I see. Okay. Is this a Thai Buddhist or Indonesian Buddhist or whatever?
Actually, it is built by Thai monks. So there are Thai monks and Indonesian monks here. And then I think most of the practice is quite similar with with the one in Thailand.
So you have morning and evening chanting.
Yes, I have morning and evening chanting.
And you have any Dhamma talks to listen to? And teacher give you any Dhamma talks?
I think once in a while, but it's quite rare. Usually we just do the chanting.
So you have to study yourself if you want to learn Dhamma.
Yes, so mainly if I need to learn something, then I just read some books, or I just join this meeting to have some talk.
But usually you know what you need to do, so that's what you concentrate on more. With
Yes.
mindfulness.
Yes, mainly I do meditation, mindfulness. But I mean, if let's say I feel bored or I want to get some motivation or change of activity, so I just do that. But mainly I do meditation.
Good. I think you should put a lot of effort in your practice, and occasionally you can study if you have any question.
Yes.
If you need inspiration, sometimes studying the teaching can help you, inspire you to push yourself forward.
Yes.
Okay. And I'm putting this audio about Mechi Gao on the Facebook page. I'm not sure have you seen it or not.
I have read that book before.
I see. Okay.
Yes.
Does it inspire you in any way?
Yes, it inspired me. Like the life as a Mechi. I mean, although it's different with the monk's life, but yet she can get enlightened. So yeah, it inspires me.
Good. If you need inspiration, these are the type of books you should be reading here. Books of enlightened people. Books by Ajaan Mahabua, books by Ajaan Lee, Ajaan Cha, for instance. These are good books to read and to inspire you, to give you more motivation.
Yes, Ajaan. Currently, I am reading what is Patipada.
Patipada.
Yes,
By Ajaan Mahabua.
Yes, and I get a lot of motivation by reading that.
Yes. That will be put on the audio next after Mechi. I have it put on the audio for people to listen to.
Oh, I see.
It's a good book. It talks about the practices of all the teachers who studied under Ajaan Man. But sometimes he didn't mention the name of the teacher. He just speak in general terms. But these are practices that he discussed with these various teachers, how they practice it. And then he put it into this book. So there are many different techniques of practices in this book for you to learn from. Okay.
Okay, Ajaan.
No question.
No question, Ajaan.
Okay. I'll go to Gary then. Gary from
Thank you.
Singapore.
Good evening, Ajaan. Ajaan, regarding the translation of Kanti, I think I read on one of the chanting book. One translation is patient forbearance.
Patient forbearance. Yeah.
Yes, it's like an element of tolerance in it.
Yeah, tolerance also can be.
Yeah. And Ajaan, regarding developing of Kanti, sometimes we see we've been to some forest monastery. They have to like practice sitting for long hours, like for example in the Nisanchi. So how is it? Is it a good way to practice Kanti by sitting for longer hours?
Yes, it kind of, see, you want to force yourself to do more practices. That's why you take up the Nisanchi to prevent you from sleeping. So you can spend your time that you use for sleeping for practice. But not every day, this is something you do on a special occasion to kind of speed up your practice.
Like Uposatha day.
Sometimes not even that. Maybe when you practice on your own and you feel maybe you want to increase your practice, if you feel you're strong enough, and you might say, I won't sleep for 3 nights or something like that. It's like fasting. It's a method of speeding up your practice. How you speed up your practice. Some people use fasting instead of not sleeping. It depends on your character or your preference. Sometimes people like fasting, they use fasting. Some people like not sleeping, they use not sleeping. So it depends on your preference. But it will help you to do more practice. That's the goal.
Okay. Because some might comment I'm too extreme.
Well, it depends on who you compare with. If you compare with the Buddha, you're not on the extreme side at all. The Buddha fasts for 49 days.
Yeah. I did fasting for 21 days once.
Yes.
That was quite some years ago.
But you should not just fast alone, because fasting alone doesn't do any good for your mind. You fast, to
practice,
to put you to do more practice. That's the purpose of fasting.
Yes. Yes, that was during the time when I have a short ordination as a bhikkhu. And I think sometimes in order to push my practice, I sit for slightly longer than I usually sit. So
that's right. You have to push yourself to do more. If you don't, you do just what you used to do. When you get to the limit, then you stop. If you want to go across the limit, then you have to push yourself to continue to do more practice.
Yeah, sometimes I don't set alarm, so I see how long I can go. Yeah.
Good. You should set mindfulness rather than alarm.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because with mindfulness, then you can sit for a long time, practice for a long time. Okay. Anything else?
That's all. That's all.
Okay. Thank you for your input about Kanti. Next, Anuma from Seattle. Am I right, Anuma?
Namaskar, Ajaan. Yes, I have no question. I'm just come to listen to you.
Okay, you're from Seattle, right?
Yes.
Okay. Next will be Khan from Brazil. Alfredo, wake up.
Bante.
Sadhu.
Hey, Bante. Sadhu. My practice is okay, Bante.
Okay, good. Always happy.
Yes, yes, yes. Not very encouragement. Nibida, Bante, nibida.
Okay. You're not,
Samadhi too.
you're not complaining about anything, right?
Yes. Last week I do a obras in my house.
You do what?
Painting the floor. A garage.
Garage, yeah.
Yes.
For the car.
Yes. Only things in my house. Only meditating.
Okay.
Not.
You live alone, right? Or you have somebody else living with you?
Yes, I live alone.
Okay. So you're like a monk. You live like a monk.
Yes, yes, yes.
Good.
I have friends on Zappy on cell phone. I have friends.
Okay.
And at night I like to joke, no, but dancing. I like to dancing at night. I goes home.
Or you go join your friend, do some dancing at night.
Yes, yes, I have it's very to diverting me. The people is very love, is very is very is very good good job, very good job at night. But at day I meditate, only meditate.
Meditating during the daytime and dancing at night. That's good.
Yes.
You're not working. You're not working anymore. You're not working anymore.
No working. No.
You have pension. You have pension.
Yes. Yes.
Good.
Yes. Niroda is a problem, Bante.
No, Niroda is the solution.
Niroda is a problem to a people. It's no, it's like Sukha, né, Bante? Sukha is good, né, Bante?
Yes, Niroda is the cessation of suffering.
Yes.
It's good. It's not a problem. It is a solution.
Yes.
That's what we want to have, Niroda.
Yes.
If
I like
it. If you want Niroda, you have to stop dancing.
Yes. Yes. When I am dancing, I think about Nibbida, about Niroda, about Viraga.
Yeah, but you're not doing it. You're just thinking about it.
Yes.
You're still enjoying dancing.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Okay, good.
Good,
okay. All right. Nice talking to you. Next, Christine Koe from Malaysia.
Good evening, Ajaan. Can you hear me?
Yes.
I'm from Malaysia. I'm from Penang. Ajaan, Tan Ajaan, sorry. I have a question because last time I tried to practice mantra on Puto, 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 but it doesn't have any meaning to me, and I cannot really take it as it is as a mantra. So currently the practice, I try to practice more on Puto. Suddenly I have the kind of thought saying that, oh, Puto is like we have to follow all the beneficial, all the Lord Buddha character. So like I can have to be mindful, be concentration, like be kind, be good. So it's very good for me to always keep the mantra as Puto, Puto, Puto. So is that a correct way for me to thinking this kind of concept as a Puto?
When you do Puto, you don't want to think about any other thing. Just keep reciting Puto, Puto, one word only.
Oh, okay.
But you can understand the meaning behind Puto if you want. But you don't. When you practice, you don't want to think about the meaning behind Puto. You just want to keep it.
Yeah. It's just like very fast. The understanding in the mind very fast. It's like, oh, come in. Then I have to be mindful. I have to be like virya. I have to be good. So I don't recite. Oh, Buddha is this, and this. No, it's just like it come in directly. I have to be concentration. I have to be like.
You have to stop thinking when you use Buddha. You want to stop thinking.
Yeah. Okay. Stop thinking. Yeah.
But if you use Buddha and then you think about what Buddha is, then you're not using Buddha properly.
Oh.
You should use only Buddha, nothing else.
Oh. Okay.
You want to stop all kind of thinking, all kind of thoughts by using Buddha. Okay. So right now, when you're not using Buddha, you want to understand the meaning of Buddha, you can think now. But when you use Buddha, you don't want to think about anything.
Okay, understand.
Okay.
Thank you, Ajaan. Thank you.
All right. Next, Alvin Lee, also from Malaysia. KL.
Good evening, Ajaan. I don't have any question. Thank you.
Okay, Rusli from Medan. Am I right, Medan, Indonesia?
Good evening, Ajaan. No, I'm from Tangerang, near Jakarta, Ajaan.
Okay, Jakarta. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I don't have any question for now. Thank you, Ajaan.
Okay. And then Karika Michelle Adelaide from Thailand. Where are you now?
Good evening, Ajahn. I am in Udon because I had a problem again with my hip and I cannot walk, so I cannot stay at the monastery. So I am waiting to be better. And I saw the surgeon, and if in 3 months it's not better, 50% better, he will reoperate and make another fixation. Then let us see. So I am in that friend guest house where I have a kuti for me. I'm in a little mini forest in Udantani and have a kuti and can practice.
Yes, you should use your illness as the lesson to teach you wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
The body is anicca, is subjected to aging, sickness, and death. It is anatta. It's not yourself. It's your servant. You're just using the body to serve your defilements. Now, if your servant wants to give up, retire, then let the servant give up and retire. You cannot stop it if it wants to stop working for you.
All the body is falling apart, you know.
Yeah.
And your health is very good, but it's a function, you know. Join, we are falling apart. The hand, the knee, the hip, everything.
Yes, you should accept it and not be saddened by what happens to your body. You should accept that this is a natural cause of the body.
The most important for me is to have energy to practice. That is the most important.
You have the energy, but your body don't have the energy. That's the problem. See.
Yes.
So you can only do so much with your sick body now.
I have the mental energy, but body don't.
Okay. You don't use your body anyway when you practice. You use mental energy to develop wisdom, to develop samadhi.
But what I see, it's when I because I can see the difference with before. It's getting worse. It means to concentrate, you need some energy, and less energy I have, more difficulties I have to concentrate. So I can be quiet, but there is not a lot of concentration in this stillness, you know. So it's a little bit, it's not sleeping, but it's not a very, it's a, I will not say there is a lot of awareness in it, you know. And so it's I can see the difference is getting down. I can see it's not getting better. And so I try my best with what I have. I try different tricks, you know. Sometimes I chant Itipiso to energize myself, and also because it's something chanting I am sensitive to, you know, and so I chant it 108 times.
Yes, this is a good method of increasing your mindfulness. And with mindfulness, then you have more energy. The more mindfulness you have, the more energy you will have. So you can do chanting a lot. You can chant all day if that's possible. Rather than thinking about this and that, use the mind for chanting better.
Well, if not, I'm quite, you know, when I walk anywhere, I have to really be mindful, because if not, I fall down. So I have to train.
Yes, you have to be always watching your body.
Each step, I have to really stabilize my balance. If not, I fall down. So it's a very good training for sati.
Yes.
And also, well, my breath, from the morning to the night, you know, and I have a very quiet life, so I don't have to think about a lot of things, you know, except when, you know, time of visa come or things like that. But if not, I don't have a lot of preoccupation to have. I can just practice how I can.
Yes, it's good. If you want to think of your body as anicca, as anatta all the time. When you see your body, you say, oh, it's anicca, it's anatta. It doesn't belong to me. It belongs to the four elements. Sooner or later, it will go back to the four elements.
I see it very often as a marionette, you know, with a string. Tuk, 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 tuk.
Yeah. Like the mind is like the puppet master. The body is just a puppet. In this way, you will not have any sadness regarding your body. You will have no dukkha regarding your body if you think in this way.
Well, we don't know. We cannot know what it will be when we will die. But I'm really not having any problem about that, I think.
Yeah, good. As long as you're not having any sadness or apprehension or anything like that, then it's okay.
No regret of anything and not wanting anything, and just for me, it's just
C'est la vie.
a passage, you know, but not a problem.
Yes, good. As long as you're cheerful, then you're okay. Even if your body is sick, you should be cheerful, okay? All right, you have any question?
No, I don't have.
Okay, good to see you today. I hope you better gets better anyway, if it's possible. If not, we'll just have to live with it.
We will see sometime, you know, amazing things happen, you know.
Yeah, miracles always happen.
You never
Sometimes
know.
happen.
It's a surprise, you know.
But don't expect it, because if you expect it and you don't get it, then you can be disappointed.
So it's a
Just
whole,
just take things as they come.
and each situation has its advantage, and
Yes, there's always good and bad side on both every situation. Always look at the advantageous side.
yeah, absolutely.
See, when there's
Because
nobody, then you don't have any responsibility to look after the body.
when your hand do not work well,
Then you don't walk.
you cannot be asked to do many things that you
That's
have.
right.
For example, in the monastery,
Yeah.
because I was so happy when I began to sweep first time, and I say, oh, I'm so happy to do it again, you know, because maybe in past life I did it, you know, and I was so happy to broom the monastery. And so in Wat Paban Mai, it's a forest, and there are a lot, the women are with, there is a lot to broom. And by myself, I want to really clean a lot, you know. And but I had so much problem with my hand that I had to stop. And then I said, look, so you cannot even do that anymore. So you have to sit more and do more practice sitting or walking, and stop to do that thing. And it might be an advantage also, you know.
That's right. That's right. It's like during the COVID, people cannot go out any places, so they have to stay at home. So they can then have time to meditate.
Always try to take advantage of the good
Situation, yes.
Yeah.
Of the bad situation.
Yeah.
There's always a silver lining. I think that's what they say, silver lining. Good to see that you're okay. I will go to the next person, okay? All right. Next, I think Evie just came in, Evie from Indonesia. Ready, Evie? You want to?
Ajaan is too fast to asking me, Ajaan.
Well, you're next. You just happen to be next. I can go to somebody else if you're not ready yet.
Okay, because I still not typing the translator. Hard to communication, Ajaan.
Okay.
Okay, Ajaan.
Should I go to somebody else first and come back to you later?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll go to Facebook now. I think everybody's in the room has already asked a question. So
Yes.
Facebook tonight, do you have any questions from Facebook or YouTube?
Yes, there are 7 questions from Facebook and YouTube. The first question from SH Paul. After doing something stupid, I felt regret. How to handle this feeling of regretting? Thank you.
You should condemn yourself that being stupid. Every time you do something bad, you're just being stupid. Maybe this will make you try to do things better next time. If you like, you can punish yourself or your defilement by not allowing you to do something you like to do, or see something or eat something you like to eat, as a punishment for your stupidity.
Next question from Jitta. Dear Ajaan, bowing to you. I have been daily one meal for years. I still feel very sleepy after meal and have to sleep for 1 hour. Is there something wrong? And I read your book. You said that you slept in the sitting position to avoid oversleep. Could you please tell me more how to refrain from sleepy? Thank you.
Well, it's normal after the meal that you will get sleepy. So usually we don't do sitting meditation when we after the meal. We do walking meditation instead. So when if you feel sleepy, then you should not be sitting. You should be standing or walking instead, doing walking meditation, doing jongom, walking jongom.
And two questions from Kun Chalerm Chai. The first question is smoking against the 5 precepts?
No, because smoking doesn't make you lose mindfulness. Doesn't make you drunk like drugs or alcohol. So smoking is not considered to be breaking the precept.
And the second question, is it fruitful for a meditation if we can't follow the 5 precepts?
Well, if you don't follow the 5 precepts, then you probably won't have time to meditate. You probably get drunk if you drink, or you go commit adultery, or do something bad. You might have to go to jail or run away from the police. So you won't have time to meditate. If you keep the 5 precepts, then you won't have any trouble or problem to run away from. Then you can meditate. Yes, the precept will help support your meditation, especially the 8 precept. The 5 doesn't support as much as the 8, but it still support to a certain level.
And next question from the multiversal unity. What is the process of Sakkakiriya to the mind? What is its usage? And he gives example. Buddha lived when he was a young little bird, newly hatched from an egg. His parents fed him in wildfire. He mentioned that he has no other sarana. His only sarana is the Buddha. With this truth, wildfire, please go away and be happiness to himself and all the birds.
I don't know. I don't understand the question anyway.
He wants to know what is the process of Sakkakiriya. Sakkakiriya is the speech of ritual speech.
Sakka, how do you spell Sakka?
Sacca.
Satya, okay, Satya. And Kiriya, Kiriya, Kiriya.
Yes.
Satya means truth, truthfulness or honesty. And Kiriya means action.
And he wants to know that this process, what is the effect to the mind?
Well, it makes the mind truthful, not being delusional. If you have truth, then you can overcome your delusion. So that's what we want to do, is to get to the truth and not to be deluded by our own delusion. So we need the truth to see, to be able to overcome our delusion. So that seeing anicca, dukkha, anatta, this is the truth. But I don't quite understand the question, so I think I have to skip this question.
And next question from Juliana. Namo Puthaya Ajaan. I would like to ask whether it is common after long period of sitting meditation, months or years. It is becoming less and less on daily practice.
Being what is common?
I would like to ask whether it is common after long period of sitting meditation, months or years. It is becoming less and less on daily practice.
What do you mean less and less on daily practice? Practice less as you practice a long time. No, it's not common. You should maintain the level of your practice, not lessen it. You should maintain or increase it. If your practice become less and less, it means you become more lazy. That's all.
And 2 questions from Tony Yap. The first question is, Dear Tanajan, good evening. To practice cultivation, is its practice 3 together? It means Sila, Samadhi, and Panya. Or have to practice step by step, mean practice Sila, then Samadhi, and lastly Panya. Hope Tanajan can advise me on this. Thank you.
Well, with Sila and Samadhi, you can do it together. So you keep the 8 precepts and then you can meditate. First, you need to practice Samadhi first. You don't go to Panya at the same time. You need to pass Samadhi before you go to Panya. So, but with the precept, you have to keep it all the time, regardless of whether you practice Samadhi or Panya.
And the second question is, when we start to do Pavana, is it need to have right will first, then only start practice Pavana? Because Eightfold Path, first one is right will.
Yes.
It need to understand Dhamma first, right?
Yes, and the Dhamma you need to understand is mindfulness. If you understand mindfulness, then you have right view. I should be mindful when I meditate. So this is the right view. So I first have to learn how, I first have to develop mindfulness before I can meditate successfully. This is right view. You have to have to have this understanding before you undertake your meditation practice. Okay.
That's all, Tanajan.
That's all. Now we'll back into the room. I think back to Evie first, okay? If she's still around. Okay. You want to say anything, Evie? Any question?
Yeah, Ajahn, I always have a question. Ajahn, Namo Buddhaya, Ajahn.
Okay, always the same question. When I meditate, I see this and that all the time.
Ajahn, 2 days ago, I participated the retreat meditation. But the way of this meditation is not anapanasati. It's this, they call the active body. So the way to do is to feel the part of the body. Like the Bhante mentioned, the hand, we must feel our
This is
hand.
mindfulness practice. Before you can meditate, you need to watch your body first. Keep watching what your body is doing. But you have to do it naturally, not something unnatural, sitting here and moving your hand around and watching it. That's not it. You have to be, like if you're cooking, you watch what you do. You're driving, you watch what you do. You're taking a bath, you watch what you do. You don't come and sit down and then move your hand and watch what you're moving your hand with. No, that's not the way to do it. That's not natural. You do it naturally.
So should I follow this method again in my meditation? Because the duration is too long. 1 hour, 2 hours as the same action.
Maybe that's how they interpret how to use kaya kata sati, using your body as your object of mindfulness.
Yeah, like nose, and I don't know, chin. We have to feel the chin. The shoulder, we have to feel the shoulder.
Okay, so it's not what I studied from the Buddha. I don't think the Buddha teach this kind of teaching. In the Satipatthana Sutta, he didn't say anything like this. He says just we have clear comprehension of what you do, clear comprehension. You're turning your head to the left, turning your head to the right. Just know that you are doing this. If you're eating, just know you're eating. But you do this naturally, not something you structure it to do. The only structure you do is when you sit down and then you watch your breathing. This is structure. When you're not doing anything, then you change your object of observation of the body to the breathing, to the breath.
Okay, so I didn't follow again. Back to anapanasati. That's
Okay, good.
Yeah,
All right.
Thank you. Yeah.
Okay, anybody would like to ask any more question? You're welcome. Check, you raise your hand first.
Ajahn, I have a message from Forest Town. Can I read to you, please?
Go ahead.
Dear Tan Ajahn, this is Forest from Boston. I have now been a Pakao for 2 months at Temple Forest Monastery, which is an Ajahn Chah branch monastery in New Hampshire. I think of Tan Ajahn often, and I'm greatly inspired by your examples. The monks here are also inspiring, and we will soon be graced by a visit by Longpo Sumeto. I try my best to constantly remove defilements from the heart and develop mindfulness in all postures. Samadhi and Panya are slow to develop, but they are surely developing. With deep gratitude and respect, I pay my respects to Tan Ajahn.
Okay, thank you for your message, and very happy to hear that you are advancing now. Now you're one step closer to becoming a monk, one step closer to the Nibbana. So just keep on moving forward. Okay? Don't turn back, don't look back, forget about the past. Look only to the future. The bright future is waiting for you if you keep on practicing mindfulness, samadhi, and wisdom eventually. Thank you. Okay. Is that all?
Yes.
Do you have any question yourself?
No, I'm just really happy for Forrest.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's doing good, really good, Ajahn.
Good. There are a few members of the Zoom meeting who has gone forward,
Right.
living in the monastery. So that's good news to hear. That's the purpose of this discussion, to get you inspired to move forward, to move from the householder to the ordained, if that's possible.
Yeah, I always I used to read the sutta before I met you, Ajahn, and I always read about like the people listening to the Buddha or the noble disciple, and then they decided to go forth.
Yes.
Yeah, like finally I see it in real life.
In real life,
Yes, it's happening. Yeah.
You see that she really, her brother is now also a monk, Siddhartha.
Yeah. Siddhartha.
Alex Aroka, also a monk now.
Yeah. I think Ben's Chua, the other day he came, I don't know if you remember, he went to Ajahn King.
What about him?
He also became a monk. He went to Ajahn King's monastery.
Oh, I see. Good.
Yeah.
I saw him a few times in the room, but he didn't turn on. Before a few months ago, I think I saw him enter the room. So he was recently just ordained, right?
He ordained, yeah, he became a monk under Ajahn King.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good news to hear.
Yeah. Many yeah, finally I see real life from the sutta to real life. I see myself. Yeah.
It's possible, right? It's not something. It's not a
it's
fairy
not
tale
only
story.
Yeah. I finally see it. Yeah, in the real life. Yeah.
When people listen to Dhamma teaching of the Buddha, they couldn't help being inspired if they truly understand, especially in their own predicament, where they are going and where they are now and where they were going. So now, after listening to the teaching of the Buddha, they have a choice to make. You can take a new path.
Yeah.
Which is good.
Okay. The Buddha and the noble disciples are, truly inspired by the gem.
When I first read the Dhamma book, I didn't expect to become a monk myself. I was just thinking, oh, maybe I can improve my mental health, by meditating. But as you study more and as you practice more, you realize that the best way is to become a monk. To get 100% mental health, you need 100% time to practice. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Anybody else would like to ask any question? You can. Nobody?
We have
Buddha. Okay. Go ahead.
One question from Facebook,ท่านอาจารย์. The question from Monica Su. Dear ท่านอาจารย์, good evening. I will have my first time 7 days as Navas or Samanen. Would you please give me some advice? Thank you.
Good advice. Just do your duty as a samaner, keeping the 10 precepts and practice or study whatever study you need to do. Just follow your teacher. Whatever your teacher tells you to do, just follow your teacher. Because this teacher might teach us differently. So when you take ordination with somebody, that somebody is your teacher. And you have to study from that teacher, take instruction from that teacher. Evie again, huh? Evie, you raise your hand.
Yeah, Ajahn, I want to ask, every time I arrange the flower to the Buddha altar, I feel happy. Can this joy be said as a merit to the deceased?
Yes, when you're happy, this is merit. But it's a short-lived type. You feel happy just briefly. If you want to feel happy longer, you have to meditate. Meditation will give you a longer life of happiness.
Oh. So, beside the dana, to do like we how to say decorate the Buddha altar, and we make the flower more beautiful and put in the altar, clean the altar. So I
Yes.
feel I'm happy to do this.
You're happy just shortly, briefly. And when you stop doing it, then it disappears. But you have to do all day. You have to decorate all day. You want to be happy all day.
Yeah, maybe that's so the higher happiness is the bhavana.
Yeah, bhavana, meditation.
But as we which still haven't reached the samadhi, maybe the happiness just the little or the short period of life.
Yes, that's why the Buddha teaches two types of paying, giving offering to the Buddha. Giving offering by flowers and decoration, and giving offering by practice the teaching of the Buddha. The Buddha said the best one is the practice. The best way of giving offering to the Buddha is to practice meditation, Patibat Bhucha, and Amisa Bhucha. Amisa means offering things to the Buddha, like flowers, incense, and things like this.
Yeah.
If you cannot patibat, if you cannot practice yet, then you use the Amisa Bhucha. You give the flower offering, the incense, candles offering first.
Yeah, done. So I can share this merit to the deceased, like my grandfather or grandmother who has passed away.
I think technically yes, but I'm not sure because the Buddha didn't teach that way. The Buddha said the only way to dedicate merit is by charity or by dana. Maybe because the merit is so small, so he wants you to do bigger merit, like giving dana, giving half of your wealth away once.
So
Yeah.
if we buy a flower with our money too, so is that
It's
considered
very
as
small offerings. If you give half of your wealth away, then that will be a big offering.
Okay. Yeah, Ajahn.
Okay. I think people want to avoid paying in order to share their merits with the dead. They don't want to do charity because they have to spend money. So they would rather do something like chanting or keeping the precept and then share this with the dead.
Chanting also can give the shared merit to the dead.
Yes, technically, but in reality, you don't get much merit yet because you don't do it enough of it. You do very small amount of meditation, very small amount of keeping the precept. So it's, you get more by charity.
But if
So
the people,
so don't scheme on your money for charity. Spend on charity. And then you can,
yeah, if people who is often to do charity, is this the kind form of the loving kindness?
yes, you have to be charitable. You have to be loving kindness to be able to do charity. If you hate people, then you won't do charity work.
Yeah, but some people do charity is just for showing.
Well,
That is not
that's
considered
that's the exception, but
exception.
yeah. But you don't want to do like that. You want to do out of compassion, out of love, loving kindness.
Yeah, I understand with the loving kindness from the heart.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, Ajahn. Thank you.
All right. Anybody else? We still have some time left. If we don't have any, then maybe I can then call this meeting to an end, if you don't mind, okay? Okay. Well, thank you for your participation. I hope you benefit from this meeting and help you advance in your practice. In the meantime, please stay safe, stay mindful, keep on practicing. And if all goes well, I'll see you all at the same time next week. Thank you and goodbye.
สาธุเจ้าค่ะ
Sadhu.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Amin. Thank you. Good night, everyone.
Thank you so much. Bye bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye bye.